Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Today, the City of Venice locked in the city's future growth plans for the next decade.
The City Council approving the plan that has been in the works for years. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley is here with more. Christopher.
And good evening. Today's vote made the plan official. It was, however, not a unanimous vote, and it did not come with overwhelming support from the community.
I don't see anything redeeming in there. They've taken out a couple dozen of the policies that, when you read them, are all the things you would want, not what developers would want.
Bill Dowling is not happy the Venice City Council voted in favor of the new comprehensive plan.
Made this decision. It's just like people with different viewpoints. You wonder why they did that.
Dowling feels the new plan does more to help the new home developers than it does to help residents by lessening the hurdles developers have to go through. So what exactly is a comprehensive plan?
The comp plan is more or less like the Constitution for the city. It sets a broad overall look of the city.
That includes how many new homes are allowed to be built and how much of the city should be allowed to be built on.
I think that it addresses probably 98% of the concerns of the citizens.
Venice resident Ron Fazzolaro is happy with the plan, as were 5 members of the 7-person city council. The 2 no votes, Fred Fraze and newly elected Mitzi Feidler, declined to be interviewed. Some, like Dowling, hoped the new plan would limit the number of new homes being built on the city. But there's a legal issue with that.
When you purchase a piece of property, inherent with that piece of property is the rights associated with that property.
To deny property owners the right to build on property they've purchased could put the city in a lawsuit. Still, the city's mayor says while the plan has been approved, all of the details haven't been finalized.
We can set the rules and regulations for all the specifics of the city on how every little minute detail works.
Comprehensive plans do set the vision for the city for the next 10 years or so. The next time a vote is likely on a new comp plan is in 2027. Scott?
All right, Christopher, thank you. A former police officer suing the city of Punta Gorda to get his pension. Lee Cole was fired after he accidentally shot and killed 73-year-old Mary Knowlton during a Shoot Don't Shoot demonstration last year. A police officer's pension board voted unanimously to deny Cole's benefits. Cole asked the board to reconsider because he suffers from PTSD. Cole was fired in March after a manslaughter charge was filed against him. His trial in the death of Knowlton is expected to take place next year. A top state lawmaker wants to know more about public funding at Nathan Benderson Park. Florida House Speaker Richard Corcoran is reportedly asking for a closer look at the economic impact of the park and how state money was spent there. He wants to know more about how much the park and rowing competition has done for this area. But despite the call for detailed accounting from the speaker, the executive director of the World Rowing Championship says the event was a huge success.
I think Commissioner Hines said it perfectly today when he said, don't talk negatively unless if you were there. And if you come and experience it, if you had actually experienced it, you probably wouldn't be saying anything negative.
I don't often agree with Speaker Corcoran, but on this one I will agree with him. When we're talking about government money spent for an event, there has to be accountability and transparency, and we're going to see that that happens.
The organizers say the event generated $9 million to both Sarasota and Manatee counties.
Researchers are monitoring higher levels of red tide algae in the Gulf of Mexico. Mote Marine Lab says scientists with Florida Fish and Wildlife have found water samples of a bloom called K. brevis along Lee County. They also found very low concentrations of the algae in water samples from areas along Sarasota County and background concentrations in one area off Manatee County. Before heading out to the beach, you can check the online updates on coastal conditions. You can find that link on our website at mysuncoast.com. And for more updates on state and local news, you can also download the latest updated version of our news app. The old version will expire for current iPhone users at the end of the month. If you don't download it, you'll miss out on breaking news alerts, developing stories, and important local news updates. iPhone users need to go to the App Store and re-download the app. All you have to do is search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users will get that update automatically.
Let's get an update now on the first alert weather. Another nice day on the Suncoast, a little warmer, but here's Bob with more.
Yeah, perfect beach weather out there right now up and down the Suncoast. And by the way, the red tide report, no fish kills going on right now. Background to low concentrations do not kill the fish. That was file video, as you saw there in the top right corner of the screen. We'll get another report on that red tide coming out on Friday, a full report from the FWC. which is available on our Facebook page as well as our mysuncoast.com. You can see we have a little low pressure area out there in the Gulf of Mexico producing some cloudiness right now as we are just about wrapping up the official end of the hurricane season for 2017. And since October, the basins, as far as the Atlantic goes and the Pacific, is the lowest ACE, which is the accumulated energy that's generated by tropical system, is the lowest in many, many years. So it's kind of interesting. We went from a very peak and strong season to a very weak season later in the latter half across the globe. Some heavier showers off the east of Bahamas, too, pushing off to the northeast. Not a lot going on here. It's pretty quiet, and will stay that way, too, tonight. Generally fair skies right now, 79 degrees, the dew point 64, and winds are out of the east at 7. The pressure 30.10. Pretty high. That continues to rise ever so slightly. More in your forecast for the remainder of the work week and into the weekend. Coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Bob. One of 3 U.S. Navy sailors killed in an aircraft crash in the Pacific was from Lakewood Ranch, and we're now hearing from his sister. She says her brother was a hero. Diane Cho reports.
Lieutenant Stephen Combs Jr. knew early on as a child he wanted to fly. He was commissioned in the Navy in 2011.
One of the things that we, as a family are holding on to is the fact that he was damn good at what he did.
The Navy calling his actions heroic last Wednesday after the aircraft he was piloting crashed into the Pacific. 8 people were rescued within an hour.
Steve was able to land it in such a way that 8 people went home to their families. Even though this is such a, so tragic, we are so unbelievably proud of him.
Officials say the plane was taking part in an ongoing joint U.S.-Japanese naval exercise when it went down about 500 nautical miles southeast of Okinawa. Last week, Combs' sister woke up to text messages from her family asking if she had seen the news.
And I was like, you guys, he's probably fine. He's okay. Like, he's a great pilot. He'll be fine. And then as soon as I hung up, I tried to call him, and
But she says when he didn't answer his phone, she knew something wasn't right.
We're trying to hold out hope, but when they say they're missing and they found 8 right away, you just know the odds are not good.
Lieutenant Combs, Airman Apprentice Brian Grosso, and Airman Matthew Chilastri all died in the crash.
He saved people, which I wouldn't expect any less from him.
That's Diane Cho reporting. Students at Philippi Shores Elementary's IB World School moving and jumping around for a good cause. School hosting its Jump for a Cause event raised more than $10,000 for a school in Puerto Rico that was impacted by Hurricane Maria. The kids putting their abundant energy to good use.
Well, let's get a check on Wall Street. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joining us now. Richard, looks like it was a good Tuesday for those on Wall Street.
It was every bit of a good Tuesday. It doesn't get too much better. And let me just say, both of my kids went to Philippi Shores, so good going, Falcons. You did very, very well, and thanks for your work. That being said, yes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was in plus territory all day long, was up by about 150 points, and then along came word that North Korea had sent out an ICBM. The market went to plus 70. Then came word that the Senate Budget Committee was going to pass the bill and send it on to the Senate floor, and up we went. 250 points plus. Quite a turnaround. Let's take a look at the figures as of the 4 o'clock close. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, and all of these are records, up 256 points, 1.1% at 23,836.71, just 164 points shy of 24,000, that on volume of 844 million shares. The NASDAQ, a winner as well, up 0.5%, 34 points at 6,912.36. That on volume of 1,602 million shares. And the S&P very strong, up 1%, more than 25 points at 2,627.04. Well, the long-rumored purchase of Buffalo Wild Wings is now a done deal. The parent corporation of Arby's announced today they are, in fact, buying Buffalo Wild Wings for $2.9 billion. This rumor has been going on for weeks now, and the stock has been very, very strong, up another 6% today. They say that when all is said and done, this combination of Arby's going forward, along with what they already own, is going to make for a terrific proposition. And believe it or not, these companies know what they're doing. So the restaurant business is seeing an awful lot of consolidation. When all is said and done, the resulting companies usually are significantly stronger.
Well, let's talk about another restaurant chain, Richard, in Wendy's.
Well, that's kind of coming through the back door, Scott, and what I mean by that is Wendy's owns 18.5% of Arby's. So as a result of that, Wendy's today made a cool $450 million. Not bad.
Wow.
Good day.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Richard, thanks so much.
You are very welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, Florida taxpayers paying millions of dollars to settle sexual harassment cases. We'll share who's receiving the money after making sexual harassment claims.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, if the holidays are stressing you out and keeping you up at night, we'll share some tips on how to get a better night's sleep.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Finding the coolest toy for the holidays can be tough, but what does an actual toy maker recommend? I'm Joey Panic on Suncoast View. Our gift guide continues as we talk with a toy developer about the latest trends. We'll once again test our musical skills, this time with a calypso beat and a steel drum lesson. Plus the newest health information for World AIDS Day, and Louise Modern joins us in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Some breaking news just into our newsroom just a few minutes ago. Tampa police chief says a person has been taken into custody to be interviewed in connection to the Seminole Heights shootings. You may remember 4 people have been gunned down in that neighborhood in Tampa. A gun has been recovered from a McDonald's restaurant in Ybor City, and that's where police took the person of interest into custody. Police chief would not give many details, but says he's confident but guarded that the gun is connected to the shootings in the Seminole Heights neighborhood. The investigation is progressing. More information will be released as it becomes available. We will keep you updated here on ABC7, on our website, and on social media as well.
A new report shows Florida taxpayers have paid more than $11 million in the past 30 years to settle sexual harassment cases. This includes more than 300 cases involving allegations of sexual harassment or a hostile work environment. The state chief financial officer releasing the report detailing payments ranging from a $5,000 payment made to a university scholarship student to more than $1 million to settle a class action lawsuit filed by nurses at state prisons.
Many high school students are already concerned about their income post-college graduation. So a new tool is now trying to change that. 3 groups in Florida teaming up to create an interactive program aimed at helping high school students find what college degrees cost and what paycheck to expect upon completion. The Launch My Career Florida project uses data from different sources to show students and parents what to expect once you graduate.
Before this, people get stuck in a major and realize maybe by their junior year that they don't like it because they find out what the career options are and, they're not thrilled with it.
The Launch My Career Florida website and app were launched this fall. The goal is to get families, high school guidance counselors, and even adults looking for a career change to find job fields with the best growth potential and the highest paycheck too.
That looks like it'll come in handy for a lot of students.
I checked it out. It's a pretty cool site. I don't know how accurate it is, but we'll see.
Whatever works, right? I mean, if it helps out, it helps out there. Things are looking pretty good weather-wise. We're looking at beautiful weather, warm temperatures. We are looking basically at our tower cam showing fair skies outside, and it looks like it should be another gorgeous sunset for us. There's a look at some high clouds around, and those high clouds will eventually move off, and clear skies should be the main rule overnight as a result of high pressure. Now, we are looking at the potential for warm weather for the upcoming days, too. We don't see any significant cold fronts headed our way anytime soon, but late next week, there's a chance we could get a stronger cold front to move on through. Well, here's a look now. What's going on with the Lakewood Ranch webcam showing fair weather cumulus clouds this afternoon. No threat of any rainfall. There are a few showers well inland, but not much going on near the coast. And again, generally fair skies expected overnight. Some rain still down to our south associated with a little trough of low pressure over the western tip of Cuba and over the Bahamas and down in the Florida Straits. Not as much as we saw yesterday, but still a few there. And some moisture working its way on a northeast flow along the east coast, picking up some moisture in the Atlantic and bringing a few showers right there just north of Fort Pierce near Melbourne. And again, this moving off to the northwest. Not much going on here, and it will stay that way overnight. Just a little bit of patchy fog expected. Right now it's 79, still pretty warm. And the dew point temperature 64 degrees, winds out of the east at 7. The pressure continues to rise ever so slightly, now at 30.10 inches. That's high and will continue to stay that way as no significant cold fronts or troughs of low pressure expected to move in the eastern United States anytime soon. Right now we're expecting some clouds around in the morning. That'll be some low clouds of fog maybe in the morning in the inland areas. Warming up though into the low 80s, our typical high for this time of year, at around 77, 78 degrees. So we will be slightly above average, some places nearly 10 inches above average, and then generally fair again overnight tomorrow. Well, the forecast looks like this. You can see that activity on the east coast near Orlando winding down and pushing off to the west. Just a few clouds around for us by 11:30 tonight. We'll start off with sunny skies, a few clouds with that fog burning off, and then generally sunny by 9:30. A few clouds and showers down near Miami and near Fort Pierce. And then the extended forecast through Thursday, not much change. And that's the big story. Not much change in our weather as a result of a high pressure ridge building in from the north and continuing to dominate our weather right through the weekend. Now, the Thursday depiction of a few isolated sprinkles here and there should not be a big factor. I know we have a lot of outdoor activities taking place over the weekend for this holiday season, and it looks as though the weather should cooperate in the most part, but some showers up north now, but not much going on here. This little low pressure area, kind of vigorous area of low pressure, continues to head off to the west. You can see some convection showing up around that center of circulation, which continues to be ripped apart. Not much going on there. Here's a cold front slicing through Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa tonight. And then beyond that, you can see these clouds moving from the west to the east. That's a zonal flow. We don't have a big drop from the north to the south at this point, and that means temperatures are going to be warming up here. A few showers and some freezing rain just to the east of Portland and Seattle. We'll get a look at these warm temperatures all the way up to 71 in St. Louis, 62 in Cleveland, Detroit, 61 degrees today. That's well above average, and they can expect that warm weather to continue for a couple more days as it slowly moves off to the east. Chilly weather out west, 45 into Denver, but nothing extreme at this point. Cold air just ready and getting set to move in throughout January and December. Northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be right around 2 feet. Be a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters, so look out for that tomorrow. Seas will actually subside a little bit in the afternoon. 7-day forecast looks like pretty warm Wednesday and Thursday, and back to fairly close to average by Monday of next week. But still, lots of sunshine in the forecast. Have a great one. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to First Alert Traffic. We have reports of a crash on 57th Avenue west with the intersection of 19th Street in Manatee County. There is some backup in that area along US 41 as you're heading north. Otherwise, things looking pretty clear at this hour across the Suncoast. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, if you need to jumpstart your diet after Thanksgiving, focus on eating foods that will fill you up without adding on the extra pounds. Here are some foods that offer a satisfying sense of fullness and can help keep your appetite in check. Greek yogurt is thicker, creamier, and has more protein than its regular yogurt counterparts. That protein can keep you feeling full, as well as avocados, which are packed with healthy fats and omega-9 fatty acids, which can be helpful for controlling hunger. Barley is also a natural appetite suppressant. The grain contains a unique combination of dietary fibers that make it extra filling. And another tip, try having a small salad or cup of soup before your meals. Both have been associated with increased fullness and decreased calorie intake. And if you have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep every day, you may be one of the estimated 50 to 70 million American adults who suffer from a sleep and wakefulness disorder. The Center for Disease Control suggests 7 or more hours of sleep for adults between the ages of 18 and 60 years old. If you don't, it could affect your overall health. Now, here are some things you can do to improve your sleep health. Go to bed at the same time each day and get up at the same time as well. Make your bedroom cozy, quiet, and dark, and turn those smartphones, tablets, and TVs off as well. If you need a little white noise, try a fan, and also avoid caffeine before bedtime. Now, some health news for your furry friends. The Food and Drug Administration has received about 68 reports of illnesses in pets because of bone treats processed and packed for sale as dog treats. Pet owners with dogs that eat the bone treats have reported cases of choking, gastrointestinal obstruction, cuts in the mouth, and diarrhea and vomiting. The FDA says giving your dog that bone may lead to an emergency trip to the vet, surgery, or even death for your animal. Coming up, a burglar sports a unique clothing choice while breaking into a home in New York. And apparently Santa has been laying off the cookies. New video shows Old St. Nick sporting some muscles just before Christmas.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $11,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Today marks the one-year anniversary of the deadly Gatlinburg fires in Tennessee. 14 people died when winds pushed fires through Gatlinburg, destroying more than 2,000 homes and buildings. Gatlinburg's fire chief said the winds were so intense it was like trying to fight a fire in a tornado. Insurance claims have approached $1 billion. People are still rebuilding homes, businesses, and community sites, including churches. Prosecutors dropped charges against 2 juveniles who were accused of starting those fires. Investigators later found out there were several fires originating in different places.
Police are investigating a break-in, all caught on camera. Take a look at this. It's a man in a bathrobe shimmying through a window of a home in upstate New York. In the video, you see the man with a mohawk and a beard squeezing into the home through a kitchen window. He was wearing a gray bathrobe and looked directly into the camera before making his way into the home. Police do not say what, if anything, he took from the home.
Well, NASA says it's invented a tire that could save you a lot of headache, time, and money. Officials at the NASA Glenn Research Center in Cleveland creating a woven mesh metal tire that remembers its ideal shape and then springs back to its original form after taking a beating. Researchers wanted to create tires that can survive the rough terrain of the planet Mars. The current Mars Curiosity rover has numerous tire issues, and it avoids small pointy rocks to prevent any further damage. NASA says these tires may be used in future Mars missions and cars right here on Earth. And you better watch out, this Santa has been pumping some iron. Albie Mushaney is a competitive weightlifter from Salem, Oregon. He goes by the name Big Bad Santa and has gained quite a following. His YouTube fitness videos have been profiled by ESPN and Men's Fitness. He's also launched a charity initiative called Operation Big Bad Santa. The program raises money to buy Christmas presents for children of wounded veterans.
He's eating like protein cookies instead of regular cookies and milk.
Can't get enough protein for that guy,
Oh
that's
my
for sure.
Goodness.
He's
Wow.
strong.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, the future of the land that's home to the Lakewood Ranch Premier Sports Complex, what the county is proposing for that area.
And President Trump's recent comments about a senator shifts his focus from tax reform.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Subaru is rated the safest and most dependable automotive brand, and all Subaru models with EyeSight are a 2017 IIHS top safety pick. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $219 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.